Welcome. This concept video describes the TrailScribe system. TrailScribe software supports field science in remote environments, making a standard tablet computer work like an enhanced field notebook. TrailScribe tablets help you collect, share, and view information. TrailScribe synchronizes data using a local network in Basecamp, so you can view it in the field without needing a network connection. TrailScribe's main goals are to help you collect and share more data, improve your situation awareness, and support field safety. Let's go through a usage scenario to see how it works. Our scenario takes place in a science expedition in a remote part of the high Arctic during midsummer. There is no cell network, scientists drive their ATVs long distances over rough terrain, and advanced medical care is several hours away. Jonathan and Sandra are field biologists studying the distribution of plant species in the area and how it relates to soil types and drainage. The first of our 3 user stories will show how TrailScribe supports data collection. At the beginning of their day, Jonathan and Sandra check that their TrailScribe synchronized data properly overnight. Then they and their colleagues split into 2 field parties to cover more ground. Sandra's group arrives at her first sampling site. Sandra gets out her TrailScribe tablet to support data collection. She creates a new sample record. The TrailScribe automatically records the time and position where the sample was taken. She uses the TrailScribe to take some photos of the local plants. Now she takes a soil sample. She records the sample bag ID using the TrailScribe's built-in camera as a barcode reader. Next, she records some notes about the site. Because it's cold and rainy, she chooses to record her notes as a voice memo with her Bluetooth headset. It's faster that way, and she can type up the notes later when she's in a warm tent. Finally, she saves the sample record. In this story, Sandra used her TrailScribe tablet in place of a field notebook, camera, and GPS unit. The TrailScribe helped her collect data faster and stored it in a structured format that will be easier to analyze later. Our second story will show how TrailScribe supports situation awareness. Jonathan is surveying local plant life and notices an unusual ground plant. He remembers that Sandra found the same plant yesterday. That's interesting. He gets out his TrailScribe tablet and looks at a map of Sandra's samples from yesterday. She found this plant in a similar streambed location with clay soil. He looks at a geological map and sees that he could change his plan to visit some other streambeds and check if they follow the same pattern. He radios the change of plans to Basecamp and he's on his way. In this story, Jonathan used his TrailScribe tablet in place of Sandra's field notebook, a geological map, and a GPS unit. With overnight data synchronization, Sandra had a new way to share her data, and Jonathan could do better science in the field. Our final story will show how TrailScribe supports safety in the field. Marshall is the safety officer in Basecamp. Jonathan and Sandra check in with him by radio every hour. But Marshall hasn't heard from Jonathan's group in over 2 hours, which could mean something is wrong. Marshall uses his TrailScribe tablet to look at Jonathan's plan for today. He notices that Sandra's group should be fairly close to Jonathan. Marshall asks Sandra to check in on Jonathan. Sandra uses her TrailScribe to look at Jonathan's plan. She sees that his group is in a valley, and she should be able to see them from the top of a nearby hill. From the top of the hill, Sandra can see a group of ATVs driving back toward Basecamp. She reports that they seem to be okay, and there may just be a problem with Jonathan's radio. No emergency this time. In this story, Sandra and Marshall use their TrailScribe tablets to figure out a plan for quickly checking on Jonathan without taking Marshall away from his safety post. Better team situation awareness improved field safety. This concept video showed how TrailScribe can support data collection, situation awareness, and field safety in remote environments. For more information, visit us at trailscribe.org.